Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of Season 3 of Banshee. Just finished Season 3 a few days ago, almost a week. Just been caught up in a lot of other videos and, turning 21 and all that, whatever, that means. But yeah, I've been meaning to get to this video for a while, because Banshee, I'll admit it, has probably turned into one of my favorite shows of all time. At least within the top 10, it's probably somewhere within 6, 7, 8, right around there. It's just how much I've grown to like it. I really like Season 1. Season 2 I thought was somehow even better. And Season 3 I didn't think they were going to be able to, top what they did in Season 2. Well, I'll say with as much as I liked the first 2 seasons, Season 3 actually took it to another level. I went from liking the show and thinking, this definitely has a spot somewhere, to thinking, oh shit, this is one of the best things I've seen in quite a long time. And it really solidified my love for the show, the series in general. Just a really, really good season, an incredible season actually. I got the Blu-ray copy of it right here. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty great show. Even if I put some shows ahead of it on the list, I'll admit there are actually parts of Banshee or elements of Banshee that I actually have gotten more into than other shows I would have higher up, which is interesting. I'll show you the inside of it real quick too. Pretty cool. So yeah. I'm not going to be able to go through every detail of the season, of course, but I just wanted to give my general thoughts on the main parts of it. I really liked how it started, with what happened to Emmett at the end of Season 2, which is still pretty shocking. It was a really cool opening sequence, of Hood, Anna, and Brock, as well as Saban. I know I mispronounced her name, but going after the white supremacist prick, that was just cool. Just the way they shot it with Hood slowly chasing him down, and him being cornered, put on his knees, and they all shoot him like a firing squad. That was awesome. It was nice to see that kind of justice right off the bat. Revenge, and Brock is sort of shaken by doing that. But, none of them really, regret, doing it for Emmett and everything like that. So I like how all that was handled. One of the other great things about the season, though, was, of course, Hood's relationship with Saban growing. I really love their connection. I think the actress did a great job with her, too. And, there's spoilers in the title, so, she ends up actually being killed off in the 5th episode. Which is surprising to me. You always felt they're gonna bring it back around to Hood and Carrie or Anna, whatever you want to call her. But still, they really built a lot on Hood's connection to her. So it's still kind of a surprising decision. Definitely one of the biggest moments in the series, really, when she is killed by Chayton, which we'll talk about that episode in a minute. But early on, we also got one of the most brutal fight scenes in the show with Burton and Nola. That was just like I said, brutal as hell, and just really engaging. I like how they edited all that together with the flashbacks of kind of both their origins. Really, I need to go through and watch these Banshee origin little shorts they've done. But I just liked how they showed flashbacks to both of their backgrounds and everything, and it's sort of woven and out of their individual psyches as they kept fighting and kept going with each other. So I like how all that was done, and Burton ends up getting her in the neck and then tearing her throat out literally. So that was really brutal. It's how I didn't expect Nola to be killed off that quickly, let alone in that fashion. But still, it's one of the best fight scenes on the show, if not the best I've seen. Really cool. Okay. Anyway, So that really, set the season on a pedestal already for me. Not just because it was action, like I said, there's like a lot of character drive they added together, with the flashbacks and everything. Also got this Stewie wristband here, Family Guy. You shall pay. Sorry, the camera went weirdly unfocused for a second, but anyway. Like I said, with Saban, I know, again, I'm butchering her name, I hate that, but anyway, she finds out about Hood, when, also another crazy episode is where Hood is actually, captured by, the mob boss who was after, Jason Hood, the actual Lucas Hood's, kid, and so he captures Hood, trying to find out what happened to him and everything. He's a really, really fat guy, it's on this, like, moving, truck type of thing. That was a crazy episode, too. I love that one, it was just, really ultimate, kind of action episode, but at the same time, it had a lot of, good character flings to it, too. And then we had that federal agent, the FBI guy, looking into Hood. But, I kind of like the back and forth they had with each other, and how he actually kind of, swept what was going on with Hood under the rug when he found out about it. So I liked how that developed, quickly in that episode, too. But then as far as the Chayton stuff goes, his whole siege on the police department, that episode is so intense, episode 5. And that followed right after, Saban just discovering, Hood's not Hood, with that file being left with her, which is a huge moment, and I love the acting on both the parts of Anthony Starr and, actress who played Siobhan. I'm sorry I can't pronounce her name, I'm not going to attempt to, or maybe... I don't know. Anyway, it was still a great episode. Really intense throughout it. It just has this great, walls closing in feel to it too, as they're all pinned down inside. And Siobhan's death, that was hard to see. She fights off one of the guys that breaks out of the cell, stabs him, but then we see how it's lights are flickering, then Chayton's slowly walking up from behind her, and then the next time we see her, holding her hostage. And this, again, the acting from Anthony Starr, Hood in the scene. I never really remember seeing him in the show, like, so kind of, I don't know if I want to say broken, but worried, and just sort of, like, desperate, to, keep her alive. The way he lowers his gun to Chayton and everything like that. You can see how much he actually really cared about her. And what happens does break him in a way that I don't think we've ever seen on the show, even with Anna and Carrie and stuff like that. When Chayton ends up snapping her neck, and it's really a sad ending for her. Such a tragic thing after seeing everything she went through and her connection with Hood. And again, just great action from Anthony Starr. And then after that, I was so eager to see Hood find Chayton. It takes a couple episodes, but they track him down in Louisiana with the whole Fight Club thing. That was a really cool episode because it was in a different environment, with Hood and Brock trying to track him down. I like the Hood and Brock dynamic in this season too. Brock doesn't trust him. He always has his suspicions about him, but yeah, it seems like there's still like a respect between them, or at least kind of a fun relationship with them. I don't know what it is. Then Hood, him and Chayton have a few brief, kind of physical confrontations, which are all really good. And then Hood's finally able to chase him down through the town of New Orleans, I think it is, or something like that. And Hood, he just, Chayton's doing this chant, trying to accept it all within himself, and Hood just goes, "Hey," and Chayton looks up and he blasts his face off with a, with a shotgun. So that was brutal. You could tell it looked really CG'd. But it was still awesome to see, and it was good to see, that satisfaction of Chayton being killed like that. So I liked how that worked out. Also, before I forget to mention, Megan Rath, who I love, as Sally in the U.S. Being Human TV series. She also has a role in the season. As like someone who had grown up with Chayton. She's also part of the police force, within the Indian Territory and everything like that. I'd like to have seen her character have a little more to do, though. And it was kind of weird that we didn't see her again in season 4, what I've seen so far, anyway. It felt like she would have played a bigger part than she ended up. But we don't really hear about her. We hear that Raven, the guy who ended up joining their police force, became sheriff after everything happened, but we never hear anything about what she ended up doing. So, it's still cool to see her. I definitely geeked out when she popped up in the show. And she kind of has this conflict within herself about Chayton, because she remembers the sweet boy she used to be around as a kid and everything. But then she accepts Hood going after him, in the end. So there's something there. It's cool. So yeah, just a really, really crazy season, and then there's a whole angle with the military base, just a bunch of corrupt dicks in there. There's Colonel Douglas Stowe. He was a pretty good antagonist. Physically, he had some good fight scenes with him. On Carrie, sleeping with him, I pretty much have Job's reaction, to that, girl, or just eye roll, shaking his head. Job actually ends up being taken, captured, in the end, and Gordon, actually tries to help to go after, and help Carrie and everything, but he ends up being shot and eventually dying, which is sad to see as well. Gordon's kind of been a mixed character for me, but really good actor that played him. And I also liked the Hood and Deva dynamic, his daughter. They had some good scenes together, I thought, which are actually fairly touching. I hope we get more of that in Season 4. I'm a few into Season 4, and they're not really going into it much, which might be kind of a letdown in the final season, but I'm sure they'll bring it back to that at some point. But still, it's really good in Season 3. I'm sure there's plenty more about Season 3 I could talk about. Of course, the stuff with Proctor is good as always. Hood going after him, trying to pick his operation apart and everything was good. So yeah, overall this is a great season. Probably my favorite season of the show to this point. Still gotta finish the final one, but I think Season 3 will probably end up being my overall favorite. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about Season 3. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.